NBC's unorthodox procedural, The Irrational, returned for a second season in late 2024, but will the Jesse L. Martin TV vehicle be renewed for Season 3? Debuting in fall 2023, and loosely based on the life of Dan Ariely, The Irrational concerns Professor Alec Mercer, Martin, who uses his knowledge of human behavior to assist the police in cracking some of their toughest cases. Haunted by a bombing which left him permanently scarred, Mercer attempts to pull together the irrationality of the human mind into a pattern that can be observed and used for good. NBC is no stranger to producing some of the best TV procedurals, but The Irrational is a unique case nevertheless. Debuting during NBC's strike-affected fall season in 2023, The Irrational was one of the few new series which helped prop up the network as it was forced to hold its most popular shows over until mid-season. Naturally, The Irrational garnered enough viewers to score a second season, but it remains to be seen if it can maintain that audience now that the TV schedule has returned to normal. Because of this, The Irrational Season 3 is not confirmed yet. The Irrational Season 3 is not confirmed. NBC hasn't ordered another season yet. The Irrational Season 1 was a ratings bonanza, and it only made sense that the network would quickly order a sophomore outing. However, NBC has yet to make a move concerning Season 3, though that shouldn't be cause for alarm quite yet. Though The Irrational has all the makings of a long-running smash, Season 2 is really going to be the show's first true test, and it will have to compete with a slew of more recognizable competition throughout its second season. The strike-affected 2023 fall TV schedule was presided over by newcomers like The Irrational and NBC's Found, but their sophomore seasons will reveal if their popularity was a fluke or if the shows are legitimately popular. Should The Irrational continue to draw in viewers, it will only be a matter of time until NBC picks it up for a third season. With that in mind, it's unclear if the decision will happen during the season, or if the network will opt to wait until the entire season is completed. The Irrational Season 3 cast details. Will Professor Alec Mercer return for more cases? While the full cast of The Irrational Season 3 won't be known for some time, there are a host of characters that are a near certainty to return. Leading the charge will be NBC veteran Jesse L. Martin as the brilliant but unorthodox Professor Alec Mercer, and he'll be joined by his ex-wife and law enforcement colleague, FBI agent Marissa Clark, played by Mara Hill. Since the show is a procedural, the bulk of the cast is expected to reprise their roles, including Arash Damaxi as Rizwan and Molly Coons as Phoebe. Though other main cast members like Travina Springer, who plays Alec's sister Kylie, will likely return, newcomers like Ron Canada as Alec and Kylie's father are less certain. As with any weekly procedural, it's also expected that The Irrational Season 3 will employ a wealth of guest stars throughout, but it's impossible to guess who those actors will be until more information is made available. The Irrational Season 3 story details. More cases for Alec and the team to crack. Alec, Jesse L. Martin, Phoebe, Molly Coons, Kylie, Travina Springer, and Rizwan, Arash Damaxi, standing next to each other in The Irrational. Unlike other procedurals which tend to rely on weekly storylines without an overarching story, The Irrational established plot lines throughout its narrative. Season 1 began the trend by featuring an ongoing domestic terrorism angle, and Season 2 will probably stretch out Rose's kidnapping and flesh it out into a larger story. With that in mind, Season 3 of The Irrational will probably have its own story arc, but it's impossible to know what that will be until Season 2 is completed. Though the show does differentiate itself from other procedurals by introducing an overarching narrative, The Irrational still checks many of the same boxes as its contemporaries. That means that the bulk of each season is dominated by weekly stories that highlight a specific case for the team to solve. However, NBC will likely remain tight-lipped about weekly plots in order to keep the series exciting.